Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, an arrest is made in the murder of a taxi driver in Moorhead.
Fully vaccinated fans could win free tickets to the Super Bowl.
Plus a COVID-19 conundrum. Unemployment is high, but businesses still can't find enough workers. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A man is in jail this evening for not only the murder of a taxi driver in Moorhead early this morning, but armed robbery attempts in Fargo earlier.
18-year-old Willie Alonzo Sparkman was taken into custody for the killing of Abdullahi Abdullahi. Sparkman was taken into custody through a joint investigation with Fargo police. The shooting took place in the 3000 block of 20th Street South. That's where authorities found a crashed taxi and the body of 24-year-old Abdullahi of Moorhead. The shooting occurred during a planned robbery, and the two men did not know each other.
As we mentioned, Sparkman is also linked to an attempted armed robbery in the 3100 block of 27th Street in Fargo just before midnight. A female reported she was approached by a male with a weapon who demanded her property. She screamed and he fled. Then just before 3 a.m. this morning, a second armed robbery in the 1900 block of 21st Avenue South. The person in both incidents had a similar description. Again, Sparkman is currently in the Cass County Jail.
Family members tonight are describing Abdullahi as someone who inspired his siblings, and he had many, 4 brothers and 5 sisters. They described him as a role model who wasn't the oldest but was always involved.
He was a happy person. He always made sure that he made everybody else laugh around him, always made sure everybody was comfortable, was straight. He would always motivate me to be better and to reach better things in life and not to just give up when things get hard.
Abdullahi's family also says he had only become a taxi driver 6 weeks ago as a way to start saving money to go to school. A GoFundMe page has been set up for Abdullahi's family. We have a link to that on our webpage. Go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
Fellow taxi drivers in the Fargo-Moorhead area are expressing concern tonight for their safety following today's killing. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor has that story.
The news of the death of 24-year-old Abdullahi, a taxi driver killed in Moorhead during a potential robbery gone wrong, has some fellow taxi drivers filled with emotion.
I feel bad, because we are taxi driver, we work for the public.
Dixon Adam, a driver for Ashton Taxi, says he feels for the young man's family.
I'm sorry, I'm most concerned, and I send my sincere condolence to them.
And hearing of these kinds of incidents also has many of these taxi workers fearing for their lives while on the job.
I don't feel like to driving, because I have 2 daughters and one of my new baby is coming by November, and I feel kind of scary.
Indra, a driver for Ryu Taxi, says thankfully he hasn't been in a similar situation, but still has safety concerns for the future. Adam says he is also disappointed that these kinds of tragedies continue to occur. He also expressed his worry about the types of passengers he picks up, as he is not sure of how people may react. He says taxi drivers have it hard and different experiences can occur.
Those whom I transport, some jump out without paying.
And when any dangerous situation may come up, Indris believes taxi drivers deserve better protection.
And we need a safety mostly from the police department.
In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
In Minnesota, there is no law against drivers carrying a weapon like a gun, but a person must be licensed to carry. Many taxi companies may forbid drivers from carrying one. If you need help uncovering an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576 and leave your tip.
In your COVID-19 vaccine coverage tonight, Moderna says preliminary data shows that a single dose of its coronavirus vaccine given as a booster produces an immune response that 40 participants were given, and a single booster shot of the current vaccine or a strain-matched candidate roughly 6 to 8 months after they were vaccinated. According to Moderna, the booster dose increased neutralizing antibody levels against the original virus, as well as the Brazilian and South African variants. Moderna says the booster doses were generally well tolerated. This could be another reason for football fans to get vaccinated. The NFL announced that fully vaccinated fans could win free tickets to the next Super Bowl. The league is giving away 50 tickets to fans who share the story on why they got vaccinated. Each winner will receive a pair of Super Bowl tickets. Super Bowl 56 is slated to be played in Los Angeles on February 13th, 2022. If you're looking for an option to get a COVID vaccine, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen and then tap the link that pops up.
A new CDC modeling study says prevention measures are still key to controlling COVID-19, even with increasing vaccinations. Public health experts worry that people may stop physical distancing and wearing masks too quickly. That could undermine gains made by vaccinations. 6 different scientific teams studied models involving vaccination rates and COVID prevention. The models showed the pandemic peaking in May with a sharp decline in July. Researchers conclude the best possible scenario is to get vaccination rates and mask compliance as high as possible.
Some families will soon have more spending money in their pockets. The IRS will begin sending out payments this summer to some low and moderate income families, depending on the age of their kids. Families will get monthly payments of $250 to $300 starting in July through December. The payments are a part of the increase to the 2021 child tax credit from the American Rescue Plan that passed in March.
Today, President Biden stopped by a restaurant in Washington, D.C., but he was there for more than just lunch. The president was there to promote a new relief fund for small businesses. The president says Taqueria was the first restaurant in the country to receive help from the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. The RRF launched Monday as part of the American Rescue Plan. It provides nearly $29 billion in direct relief to restaurants, bars, and other similar businesses. The new program prioritizes restaurants owned by women, veterans, and other socially and economically disadvantaged groups.
There are families of all races, all ethnic backgrounds, all nationalities in this country who have built their American dream around a family-owned restaurant. And for more workers, their own story of economic progress starts in a restaurant.
This comes as the Small Business Administration says it has run out of the funds allocated for the Paycheck Protection Program a month earlier.
Job Service North Dakota says unemployment rates are headed back toward pre-pandemic levels. However, staff shortages are still a major problem. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling explains the pressure that a lack of workers is putting on local businesses.
During any given week, the Tavern Grill in Fargo serves around 7,000 people. The challenge for all involved continues to be getting the job done with half the staff.
But it's definitely been a struggle. It's hard to definitely find people in all sorts of positions that everywhere is hiring for.
But the lack of employees isn't new, dating back to before the pandemic.
North Dakota had more jobs than applicants, so it is something that we are very familiar with.
Workforce shortage was an issue before the pandemic, and it's still probably going to continue to be even after the pandemic influences are diminishing. We're still going to have that workforce shortage just like we had before, and really it comes down to there's not enough people.
In fact, when we tried to get other restaurants to comment on this continuing problem, many said no. They said they were too busy because they were short-staffed.
So we just ask everyone to bear with us because they are working their hardest to give you the best experience, the best food quality, and everything we possibly can.
The one bright spot for businesses is that despite a lack of workers, they are seeing more people out and about.
Oh, it's so wonderful. When you think about it, a year ago when all we were doing was packing food to go for the community, it's so great to be able to let them come in.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
If you or someone you know is looking for work, visit our website for more information on job services here in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
Around the nation tonight, the director of the U.S. Secret Service is preparing to testify in front of the House lawmakers tomorrow. It's the first time the agency will appear in an open hearing since the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. Director James Murray has 11 pages of prepared remarks. They make only a brief mention of the events on January 6th, but Murray does note the agency made some operational adjustments due to civil unrest and the rise of domestic violent extremism. A California man has been arrested on charges of selling fake COVID-19 vaccination cards. Undercover agents with the State Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control got a complaint that fraudulent cards were being sold at a bar. They say the owner of the bar was selling fake cards and agents were able to purchase them on multiple occasions in April. He's facing multiple charges as well as potentially having his liquor license revoked.
Still ahead tonight, a plan is in place to fix a legendary lumberjack's broken arm.
But first, our weather is in a bit of a stagnant pattern. Hutch hopefully will fix it in a couple of minutes.